organizer with Anna, and I'm a bachelor student at Gdańsk Tech, so I'll be organizing the hackathon here. And this is Kuba.
I'm also the engineering studies at the Gdańsk University of Technology, and I have prepared one of the tasks ideas.
The exemplary ones that we'll be talking about later. So that's our team. Thank you very much for letting us introduce.
Yeah. So as I said, the meeting will be recorded and posted on YouTube. So don't worry if you don't understand anything or you miss something. You can access it afterwards. So that's the plan for today. First, I will talk about HACK-4-SAGES. I will explain what it is. Then I will tell you how you can join the hackathon. Then I will answer some of the questions that we received via Google Forms. And after that, we will do a Q&A. And please write your questions in the chat. So then we can start answering them, or you can also turn your mic on and just, talk and just ask. Okay, so what is HACK-4-SAGES? HACK-4-SAGES is, as you probably know, is the Digital Twins in Astrobiology Hackathon. And I figured that the easiest way to explain what it is to just go step by step and explain every element of this slightly long name. So what are the digital twins? A digital twin is like a dynamic virtual representation of a real system. So imagine that you first take a real or a hypothetical system, for example, like Earth or like an ecosystem, or maybe you can even consider a machine or a city or a cell, anything essentially. And then you take this system, you try to understand it, and you describe it using some rules, like rules in physics or biology or chemistry. Then you can feed it some data or some assumptions. And then you essentially get like a virtual copy of this system that you can then safely experiment on, right? We cannot, using the Earth as an example, we cannot just make some huge changes on Earth and just try to see what happens, because we only have one Earth and it's also kind of big and it's kind of impossible. So for instances like that, we have to build these digital twins, so these virtual representations of real systems. So in the context of our hackathon, an example of a digital twin could be like a digital twin of, let's say, a hydrothermal vent, when we try to represent the different chemical reactions that are happening in our hydrothermal vent. Or we could use like early life, like a very simple cell, and try to represent it virtually. We could also create virtual representations of Earth or any other planet, for example, an exoplanet. So that's the digital twins part, and then the astrobiology part. So what is astrobiology? Astrobiology is the science of life in universe. And the field asks three big questions. So it asks, how does life begin? How can we recognize life when we see it? And where can life exist? So we realize that there are these three big questions, and that is why in our hackathon, we have three categories in which you can participate. So we have the digital twins in origins of life, digital twins in life detection and biosignatures, and digital twins in exoplanet habitability. And then the hackathon. So what is a hackathon? Hackathon is basically like a type of event during which participants work in teams to develop a project or like a solution for a problem. And they want to form an idea or build a prototype of something. Speaking of our hackathon again, this will take place between 9th and 13th March next year. On the 9th March, we will have an introduction where the teams will meet with the mentors that they will have assigned. Between 10th and 12th March, the actual hacking will take place. So that will be the time when they can work on the projects. And then on 13th March, we will announce the winners. And you can, what is important to mention now is that you can participate online or in one of our co-host locations. So these are all the co-hosts that we have. Mostly they are located in Europe. So you have ETH Zürich in Switzerland, you have 3 universities in Poland, We have university in Netherlands, Malta, Portugal, and Bulgaria. In North America, we have 2 universities in Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin Medicine, University of Florida. In Asia, we have the National Central University in Taiwan and Earth Life Science Institute in Japan. And then in Australia, we have Queensland University of Technology. But again, remember, you can either sign up to participate in person in one of these institutions, or you can also participate from your home. Now, how to join? So the first thing is you need to select the category in which you want to compete in. So as I said previously, we have 3 categories. That is the digital twins in origins of life, digital twins in life detection and biosignatures, and digital twins in exoplanet habitability. Once you select which category you want to participate in, you need to build a team. And to build a team, you first need to be a bachelor or undergraduate student. And you need to find from 1 to 3 people to join your team, because the teams that we accept have size of between 2 and 4 people. And you can be from anywhere in the world, because that's also the question that we've been asked. This is open for participants worldwide. You don't need to be located in one of the countries that have a co-hosting institution. Again, you can be based anywhere. As long as you're a bachelor undergraduate student, then you're welcome to join. What if you cannot find people to join your team? Maybe your friends are not interested, or you just don't know anybody else who's interested in astrobiology. If that's the case for you, then please join our Slack channel. I'm welcoming you to join our Slack channel anyway, but specifically if you don't have a team, because when you register to our Slack channel, you can then go to the team matching channel, where the WUTSA prepared a format for you to introduce yourself and maybe introduce a project idea that you have. And this way, other participants who don't have teams or would like to have more team members can find you, and then they can talk to you, and then you can either join their team or form a new team with them. So once you have your team, you need to come up with a project proposal. And here again, we're trying to be quite relaxed with the things that we expect from you. So all that we ask these projects to be is that they are based in one of the 3 categories that you had to choose in step 1, that they are doable in 3 days. So if you come up with a super ambitious project, there's a high chance that you will not be invited to participate in the main hackathon, because the project must be doable in 3 days, at least to some extent. And also, we would like the project to be innovative. So we don't want you to just repeat an analysis that has been done, but obviously you can get inspiration from a paper or analysis that has already been done, but you need to add something from you. You need to add something. It cannot just be repeating something that has already been done. Once you have your project idea, and again, it doesn't have to be very specific, just have like a general idea of what you would like to work on. Then you have to register your team and project and tell us what the project proposal is. So this is a screenshot from our Google form that you can find on our website when you click on the sign up link button. So then you have to choose the category in which your team wants to compete in, and then you need to describe your project idea. And it's maximum 300 words. So again, it doesn't have to be very specific. Just give us like a general idea of what you would like to work on. We also created a document with example projects. You can either click on the link here in the Google form, or it's also on the website. I will show you in some later slides. And again, I just want to emphasize is that this is a hybrid hackathon. So you can either participate from one of the co-hosting institutions, or you can participate from your home or from your own local institution that is not an official co-host. Just obviously it will be nicer for the people who are participating at the co-hosting institutions, because we will provide a nice room. Shelter is probably not the best word that I use here, but we'll provide rooms for you, and we will give you food, we will provide lunches, so it will obviously be more comfortable. But again, everybody around the world, as long as you're a bachelor student, is welcome to join. And then once you submit your application, then you just have to wait. And remember that the deadline for registration is 16th January, so you still have around a month to think about your projects. And then we will select 60 teams globally to participate. There will be 20 teams in each category. And we will inform you whether you got selected or not via email. So there is no need to contact us. Just wait for an email from us. Even if you do not get admitted, we will still inform you via email. We received a couple of questions via Google Forms, so I will answer them now. The first question that we received is, what does the project intend to be? So I was not super sure what the person asking it meant, but generally the goal of the hackathon is not to produce any finished software or any finished product or a very elaborate project or to discover life. But our idea is to promote astrobiology in general and the use of digital twins in astrobiology among the people who are at the early stages of their scientific journeys. So what we would like the students to do is to learn how to formulate clear scientific questions, how to then translate these questions into different modeling frameworks, or how to propose to do it. Because remember that you do not need to be a programmer, you don't need to be an expert in coding to participate in that. We also accept more theoretical projects, basically the projects that maybe would not implement the ideas that they have, but would at least propose how they would implement. So they would, give sort of like a plan of how they would proceed with the project if they had more time. But yeah, you generally need to be able to formulate a clear question and then either start implementing it or propose how you would implement it into like a modeling framework. And then also we would like students to learn how to use existing data or models or simulations and how to test different assumptions, explore different scenarios. And again, we created, that's the screenshot that I was talking about. So when you go to our website, to the how to join page, to step 3, and then click on this link, you can find, or click on this link directly, you can find the examples. We created 2 examples for each of the category, so you can get some inspiration from there and see what we mean when we talk about like projects and proposing different projects. And some of these projects here, they maybe will seem a little bit ambitious for you, but please don't be discouraged by that. If you have a simpler idea, this is also fine. We just want to see that, you can come up with your own projects and they are, again, doable in 3 days. Not overly ambitious, but also not too simple. And they also are innovative. So you added something from yourself. Another question that we received is a better explanation on the difference between origins of life and life detections and biosignatures, because don't we have to detect life and presence of biosignatures to prove the origin of life? That's a great question. And there's a difference between the origins of life category and the life detection and biosignatures category. So basically the origins of life, they focus on the time before any life exists. So we are trying to figure out or to study how life could possibly emerge. So this is the time before life is already on a planet. Meanwhile, the other category, the digital twins in life detection biosignatures, it focuses on the time when we already have life and we're trying to come up with ways to detect this life, or we're trying to identify the features that life has that make it detectable and make it different from, like, for example, what makes a planet with life different from a planet that doesn't have life. Yeah, so this is the difference between these 2 categories. And again, these are just screenshots from the document that I was telling you about. For example, in the digital twins and origins of life, there is one project. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can go and read it yourself. There is a project on modeling the primordial chemistry in an origins of life scenario of choice. And then in the digital twins and life detection biosignatures, we have basically an example on simulating alien life project. Another question that we received is what can be used and what cannot be used. So generally, most of the things can be used. Obviously, we'll be working from home, so it would be a bit silly for us to prohibit the use of ChatGPT or other generative AI tools. But yeah, to be more specific, you can use public data sets, anything essentially that you can find online. You can use some published models. And in fact, we encourage you to, use the things that are already out there, or maybe simplified versions of some models, because some of them can be a little bit challenging to use. You can use some, existing frameworks, anything essentially that you can find that is published and is public. And you can, as I said, you can also use ChatGPT or other generative AI tools. What you cannot use proprietary or restricted data without permission. So if you can obtain permission to use some data, then great, but you need to give us proof that you have the permission to use it. And also, you cannot, as I said, present results that are directly copied from a paper or somebody else's project as something new. So basically, you cannot steal somebody else's work and present it as yours. What we need here is, if you base your work on some previous project, some previous work, which probably you will, you need to clearly cite it. You need to clearly cite the papers that you are basing it on, and you need to make it clear to us what is the innovative element. So what is the thing that you added to it? What is the different problem that you want to solve in whatever you're trying to solve? Another question we received is an elaboration explanation of each step to win this, and specification about team members and mentors, PhD scholars. So as I already said on the previous slide, the team must consist of 2 to 4 students, and they need to be bachelor students. Again, it doesn't matter where you're based. We welcome all the students worldwide, but you need to be a bachelor undergraduate student. And every team will have a mentor assigned during the hackathon. Mentors will provide guidance, but they will not give you solutions, or they will not write code for you. They will just be there to help you, to just guide you with your project. And mentors ought to be PhD student level at minimum. So if you would like to be a mentor, we also have a separate link that's not on the website, but you can contact us and you can volunteer to be a mentor. And mentors are, most of the mentors that we currently have are PhD students or postdocs. So we welcome these people. Some question that we received from mentors is whether they have to be experts in coding, or they have to be experts in all the fields, like all the categories. So no, the answer is no. Please, if your work is you feel like is somewhat relevant to the topic of this hackathon, please volunteer to be a mentor, and you will be matched to the team that is basically the best match for your expertise. So don't worry about that. Just reach out to us. As for like what is the winning project, well, I cannot tell you everything. We will see. But yeah, generally, if you want to be admitted into the 60 teams that will be actually participating in the hackathon, again, the project needs to be in one of these 3 categories that we are considering. It has to be doable in 3 days. So be careful of being overly ambitious, because this is we are aware that some things just cannot be done in 3 days. But if you want to be overly ambitious, or if you want to do something extra, you can obviously say that, okay, I will maybe not run all these simulations, but I will describe how I plan to run the simulations. Just make sure that what you're planning to do is actually doable in 3 days. And again, something innovative. So that's all that I can tell you for now when it comes to the winning project. And I guess we'll know in March what exactly these projects were. And what steps should we follow and focus on while designing our project proposal? That's another question that we received. So again, you need to first choose a category that you want to work in, then define a specific problem. So maybe you are interested in origins of life. So try reading a little bit about origins of life. Try finding some articles that tell you about, the current maybe things that are not clear, or that are still research in origins of life, and try to basically identify even some simple like gaps in the knowledge and something that is yet to be solved. And then think about a solution. But again, don't think about it too much. Just something very simple. Maybe you have a couple of ideas. Just to have like a general idea of, okay, we have this problem in this field, and maybe this is how we could approach it. and then try to describe it in, again, maximum 300 words and submit it via the Google form. Okay, so that's it from me.